If you do that from out of state, tell me where you are, too. Got a handful of new bureau chiefs listening to the show. Jake is in Charlotte. Aaron listens in Vero Beach, Florida. Aaron wrote me a letter that he and his wife moved to Vero Beach. And we're not old or retiring, he said. I'm 37. My wife's 32. But we like Florida's weather a lot. I make airplane parts. So listening to the show every day keeps me entertained. There's Aaron. I also met, I had the Cox Out pregame yesterday for what ended up being a ghastly Browns game. But I was at Around the Corner, and I met Ethan from Rochester, who is a pretty regular listener and contributor. And he liked the vibe so much that he moved to Cleveland.
Nice.
He left Rochester and moved to Cleveland.
It's good vibes here. Not according to like national polls or anything like that, but I think it's
What
good.
do they know?
Yeah.
Well, he said it's definitely cheaper. Just, I was like, I literally know nothing about Rochester.
Even cheaper than Rochester?
Right.
Well, he said just New York State.
Yeah,
Everything's expensive. So
That's
he's
a good
like, you know, he's like, I'm paying like $1,000 less for my apartment than I was in Rochester. So,
Damn.
yeah. Right. So anyway, he was going through a lot of stuff, and I think he maybe just kind of needed a
little reset.
Fresh coat of paint on life. And yeah, so nice dude. Introduced himself to me at Around the Corner yesterday, and we chatted for a bit. But so, yeah, Ethan's in Rochester, not listening on the iHeartRadio app anymore because he's local. Lisa Z is up in Buffalo. Rick is in Nashville. I can't tell you the last time I heard the name David Copperfield. Remember this guy?
Yeah.
David Copperfield, very, very famous illusionist.
I just went and saw the Allens a few weeks ago, and I had him on my podcast. So
David Copperfield?
Well, we talked about David Copperfield a little bit on the podcast. So that's the last time I talked about David Copperfield.
Wait a minute. Where's he from? I played a...
Jersey.
I think I played a college gig where his, like, in his hometown. David
He's from somewhere in Jersey.
Maybe I think of David Blaine.
But back in the day, he, famously dated Claudia Schiffer, and they were like, the hell's she doing with this guy? You know, he's kind of goofy looking, whatever. But he's still around. Guy's almost in his 70s. And he's been doing what he does for a long, long time. And he's made an announcement. He's got a new illusion coming. He said it's taken 30 years of work to develop it. Did you see what he's going to do? Mm-hmm. This is a guy who makes very large things.
I mean, just making David Copperfield relevant again is a pretty good trick.
He made himself disappear for like 20 years. But this is a guy who makes very, very large things seem to go away. That was his big illusion for a while. He like made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Yeah.
Right?
On television. And all he did was move a platform a little bit. Amazing.
I don't think I've seen one of his illusions since I was a kid.
They were primetime television.
No, I know. When I was a kid, I was like in the 8th grade, I think, and he did this thing where he was in like the Prestige, where he was handcuffed in the tank of water.
I feel like that's the one I remember. Was he the first guy to do that?
Well, they pulled him out because he couldn't get out. And it was
Isn't that what killed Houdini or something?
Houdini. That's whose hometown it was. Hold on. He's
Harry Houdini's hometown?
He's a different...
Yes,
nope, he's from Hungary. It's not that. Oh, Appleton, Wisconsin. That's what it was. I was playing a gig in Appleton, and they're like, check out the Harry Houdini Museum or whatever. So they're different people.
What's his connection to Appleton?
That's where his love of America was such that he claimed Appleton, Wisconsin as his birthplace.
Oh, he was born in Hungary, but told everybody Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah, he came there in 1978.
Wow.
1878. I apologize.
I was going to say, I'm like, that doesn't sound right at all.
Died in 1926. I knew there was a magician from somewhere around there. Anyway.
So I guess David Copperfield, prior to COVID, was doing like a Vegas residency and all that kind of stuff. And he's had his, the tricks, the illusions don't always go the way they're supposed to go. I know he had an assistant some years ago who got sucked into an industrial fan. And the kid was alive, But, David Copperfield had to give all those people refunds because they had bits of Brandon all over them at the end of that thing. Anyway, David Copperfield has announced that he's going to make the moon disappear.
Is this a lunar eclipse?
He's going to, I hope people told him. Science might do that for you before.
In Cleveland, the clouds do it constantly.
Right.
Well, that's why he's not doing the trick here. He get a whole big yawn from people. But he's going to make the moon disappear. He walked through the Great Wall of China. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. And he's gonna make the moon disappear. And he said it's taken 30 years to perfect this trick. So obviously people around the globe are preparing for what will be a catastrophe of biblical proportions.
Oh, it's going to mess up all the tides.
It will.
I mean, the tides and everything else, right? The moon is what holds us in place. So if we get on a tilt, it's either going to be, we're screwed.
I don't know if you should be messing with this, Mr. Copperfield.
Last week, we see that headline that the moon is 40 million years older than we thought. And now this, it cannot be a coincidence. This guy is getting in on all this moon publicity. So he's going to make the moon disappear. To what end, I don't know.
Is this on television? Is this at his Vegas show? Does he have...
Well, he's doing it. He's collaborating with a children's organization. And so it seems like they worked backwards. I don't know if 30 years is really what this sounds like something that just got cooked up. He said, if we can make the moon disappear from the sky, imagine how we can make poverty and hunger disappear for our children, yada, yada. So, yeah, that's the plan. What I want to know is, even if you're at the height of your powers as an illusionist, you do have to rehearse your trick. So how are you going to do that? How do you rehearse making the moon disappear? Yeah, because he couldn't have picked a worse time, with climate change, ever marching forward. This is a really bad time to throw this planet into disarray because the moon's gone. He says he's going to make it vanish. February of 2024 is the plan. According to him, the culmination of 30 years of work.
You think he just really liked the movie It's a Wonderful Life?
That's impossible
for him.
You want the moon, man?
Nobody really liked that movie.
I'll throw
except
a lasso
you.
around.
So he says, if anybody sees anything weird in the sky, please let me know by tagging me on social media. So there you go.
I'm exhausted by this.
Why? We're going to see the
liar.
moon disappear. He's an illusionist. Yes, but he's lying about this.
No.
That's the deal.
He's not going to make the moon disappear. We're going to have a contest for people to actually win a chance to see the moon vanish live and in person, he says. So, again...
What if he just shows everybody his butt and then pulls
Pulls his pants back up?
and the moon's gone. I would love that.
What's that giant crater in the middle? No, I don't
Been working on that for 30 years.
I think we might be past the point where David Copperfield illusions are on television.
It'll probably be on YouTube.
He was back, he got going back at a time where these were far more exciting because, people had an opportunity to maybe not be so cynical. They weren't constantly bombarded by information. We're in the middle actually of watching a John Gotti documentary. We've gotten burned the last couple of documentaries we've watched. They've been real thin on premise, or I should say thin on execution. The premise is always great in these things, but the execution has been very lame. But you can always take solace in like a good mob documentary, right? That's got real stuff. And so we're in the middle of a Gotti documentary, and they were talking about what a difficult time they were having with him and kind of in these trials, trying to make sure the jurors were safe and things like that, and how they were getting really good PR from the local New York papers because everybody loved John Gotti. And I was like, God, it was great back in the day when it was just radio and TV and newspapers. Those were the salad days, man. Something like that happened now. You're not trying to get positive coverage in the New York Times if you're John Gotti, because everybody on the planet's just crapping all over you. You can't walk around like that anymore. Hey, Don.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Don. What's going on?
This MMS. I was calling about the David Copperfield thing.
Indeed. What can I do for you?
It made me think of Despicable Me, where Gru tried to shrink the moon and then steal it.
Yeah, put it in his pocket, right?
That's right. Try to take it home, give it to his kids.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't...
This guy's losing it.
Don's loving it. He really wants to see David Copperfield shrink the moon. He just says he's going to make it disappear, Don.
Oh, okay. No, maybe he has a shrink rate. That's what took 7 years to develop.
I'm with you. I mean, I know it was an animated film, but still I want to know, when you shrink the moon like that, didn't it jam up the whole situation here on the Earth? I don't remember that part of Despicable Me, but I remember the premise that he shrinks the moon. But it had to have thrown Earth into disarray. You know, depending on what you read, they'll say that the moon is actually shrinking because the core of the moon, its interior, is getting colder. And so it has shrunk. Now we're talking like 100 feet over millions of years.
Shrink it.
But it's like, you know, a grape can shrink down to a raisin. And so the moon will eventually
Be a raisin.
be a raisin. They'll just call it, it'll no longer function as a satellite or a moon. They'll call it a space raisin. And we'll probably all be long gone by then, but we're still fascinated with the moon. Every other week, they're like, oh, we're doing something with the moon now. Well, I was reading they're going to pave roads on the moon. So we can mine the moon.
Mine it for what?
Dust and minerals and everything that's up there.
Leave it alone. We don't need
They
it.
want moon dust. And so now David Copperfield comes swinging in on a chandelier and goes, oh, yeah? You're working hard on that? I'm making it disappear. Lunar dust could be melted to make solid roads on the moon. That's great, because we got everything fixed down here. Get up there and make some moon roads. I think that's fantastic.
Moon roads.
Moon roads.
And then they're all going to disappear, though, because of stupid David Copperfield.
Where we're going, we don't need moon roads. If he's making the moon disappear, we should be able to see that where we are. Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, people, they want to see an illusion like that up close. We should try to get Mary there front and center.
No.
We should pull every possible lever and pulley of influence that we have, minimal as they are,
I don't want to go.
to try to get her front row
He just puts
as a live
blindfolds.
reporter at David Copperfield's moon disappearing trick.
In February, I'm busy that month. I can't. I gotta
No, you're not.
be.
No,
I
you're
gotta
not.
go.
All those gigs got canceled.
You didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be by him. By David Copperfield, not Bill.
Alan, I don't understand how David Copperfield can sleep at night out here lying to everyone all the time.
That's what I mean.
Well, you might have noticed lying is not keeping a lot of people awake at night. But to your point, you might be onto something. For a while, though, he was sleeping with Claudia Schiffer. I don't know if the guy's married now. I don't know what his personal life is, nor do I care, because it's none of my business. But
It's your business if he steals the moon.
to
or
be
whatever.
that's NASA's business. That's not my business. This whole place is going down the tubes anyway, so what do I care? We're all going to be on fire in 50 years.
What was that about NASA?
It's NASA's business, not mine.
Bill works there. He's concerned.
Oh, no. That's just where I shop.
And, right, there you go.
Hey guys, hate the show. As I'm listening to the podcast of Friday's show, I am very impressed that Poundcake is the one that comes off as both homophobic and racist when talking about cheating respectfully. Hate the show. Love me. Love you. I see ya.
How did he arrive at that? It wasn't Friday's show. It must have been the show before.
I think that was Thursday. But I think we kind of recapped it on Friday with Bridget. But how are you?
But how was it homophobic and racist when he was talking about, I mean, he's talked about cheating respectfully before.
Well, he was saying that it's not as bad to cheat. I don't remember. What were you saying?
I said it's worse. It's a double sin.
If you're cheating with a dude.
If you cheat, if you're married to a woman and then you cheat, so you're being unfaithful, so it's already adultery, and then you're gay on top of that, so it's also adultery versus homosexuality. So I don't know if that's homophobic. I didn't say that it's wrong to be gay. I just said you're being completely very dishonest in two ways.
Mm-hmm.
How's that racist?
I don't know. Those were his words,
he
not
didn't
mine.
explain the racism part. Mary, would you rather a guy cheat on you with a woman or with a dude?
Is he secretly gay?
Yeah.
Then a guy. Because if he's gay
Poundcake
and he
disagrees.
wants a guy, there's nothing I can do to give it to him. So that would make me feel a lot better. Like if Brian left me to be gay, shut up, Cody. I would be. That would sit better with me than
if he left me to be gay.
I'm saying it would sit.
Honey, I have to go be gay.
The scenario that we
Don't
created,
call me ever again.
The scenario that we created, you're married with kids.
It doesn't matter. If he's gay, there's nothing that I could ever do for him that would make him happy.
Yeah, he doesn't want your equipment.
You guys watch the same porn, though.
Yeah, but so what? That would make me feel better than him leaving me for a woman.
Oh, I know what he probably was thinking was racist. I said a black woman would probably be like, oh, hell no. I gotta go get a test. That's probably what he said was racist. But I'm not lying.
Right.
Let a black woman call in like,
Poundcake, I was reading a thing this morning. It said that the profession that far and away cheats most at work are teachers. With coworkers.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a high
Not with coworkers or with the students. These teachers, boy, they are
double
going
sin.
bananas. Double sin.
That's a double sin.
There's like 2 or 3 teachers in the last month in Columbus. These like 24-year-old girls. They're like on the job for a month, and they find some 16-year-old kid and blow their life up.
But it might not be, again, it's illegal. It doesn't matter. People are saying like, oh, why? People have told me that they're like, oh, I slept with my professor in college. It's not illegal. I said, it is. In the state of Ohio, if you are in a position of power, it doesn't matter. Your teacher could be, 30 and you could be 21.
Yes, but isn't that recently illegal?
No, that's
for a long time. For a long time, it was just if you're of legal age.
No,
because my roommate slept with her professor.
You're fine. A lot of people do. It's a rite of passage.
If that's the case,
no pun intended.
If that's the case, there's nothing saying that if you're a senior in high school, seniors are 18. I turned 18.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like for a long time in most states, if you were of legal age,
yeah, that's not true.
They couldn't be prosecuted.
Like if you're a senior in high school and you sleep with a teacher in your school or just a teacher in general. I don't know if a different district you could sleep with a teacher there, maybe, but if it's a teacher in your district, a person of authority. Doesn't matter what age you are, you can go to jail.
What if you're a senior in high school?
Then have at it.
No, I don't think the position of authority thing is illegal. It will get you fired, but as long as people are of legal age, it's not illegal. I don't think.
Okay.
I think if they say, well,
Google it.
It's going to go to HR.
The state of Ohio. I'm talking about the state of Ohio. That's the only law that I've known. I don't know what it's like in Illinois. I don't know Kentucky, but what a teacher told me was if you are in a position of power, the power there's so much of a power imbalance that no matter what age you are, if you are a teacher in the state, educator in the state of Ohio, if you sleep with a student, you're going to jail. It's illegal.
What if it's a Billy Madison situation? Would he end up in jail?
Tutors, whatever. Principals.
Faculty members and students shall not enter into consensual relationships with each other if the faculty member is in a position to directly teach, evaluate, supervise, or advise the student.
So if they're not your teacher, you can sleep with them.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe a different district. How weird would that be? Like, oh, yeah, I'm dating a teacher, but she goes.
Yeah, but that sounds like like I said, that sounds like a university policy, not a law, not
Where'd you
illegal.
read that from?
Ohio administrative rules.
Okay, so that's Ohio. It's not.
You said the state of Ohio.
But you said it sounds like an administrative policy. It's not. It's the state of Ohio.
No. What I'm saying is this sounds like a policy for universities.
Okay.
Not a law in Ohio. You know what I mean? I think the law says if you are of age and you're in a consensual relationship, what law are you breaking?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I mean,
as long as they're not your teacher at the time.
Adultery is not illegal. It's on the books in a lot of states, and maybe some of the red states are still trying to. There's all kinds of old timey laws they're still trying to enforce.
I don't know. So
I'm being told Title IX is what it is.
Again, that's a school policy, right?
I don't know anything about this.
Well, anyway,
I think the layman's terms for it is student loans, not student moans.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't know what would happen. So I went to a vocational high school. At night, they would do adult classes.
This is from a professor. It's illegal. It's illegal.
Illegal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder
That's
why.
what I thought.
They have to go through a lot of training on it
I wonder why.
because of the illegalness of it.
No, but I mean, I
Well, 'cause
wonder.
you're in a
Position of power. Yeah.
You're
Right.
exactly that,
Which which sounds like something that would go to HR.
But it would
right?
compromise you
when it
because
happens in companies. The company might fire those people.
Right, but it's not
They
an
don't try to. They
employee.
don't litigate against
It's
them.
someone that is a student and an employee are different.
I see.
Put that on Mary's list.
So just don't say anything, guys.
Student
Don't
and an
snitch.
employee are different.
All you gotta
Well,
do is-
anyway, teachers are cheating with coworkers at work.
See, that's fine.
Property and construction, it's real high. Hospitality and events management. Well, sure, you're surrounded by hotel
So not
rooms.
just cheat respectfully, cheat legally. Just cheat legally. That's all.
Legally.
Don't do nothing that's gonna get you
Mary,
in trouble.
what's your favorite way to cheat? What,
Not to
well,
cheat.
you gotta. In
I only
Poundcake's
cheat
world,
on my diet. Am I right, guys?
Nothing illegal about that.
Have a cookie every now and then.
Yeah. Put me in. Eating York pepper with patties is wrong. I don't want to be right.
Put me in cuffs.
Oh, boy, I got a break. Hey, you want those tickets to see young Bill Squire at the Agora with Mary Santora in December? I'll have those for you after the break. 35192 to text.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Now, you can relive the greatest moments from our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Lenny Kravitz kicks things off with his biggest hits.
Foo Fighters get the whole crowd singing along.
Travis Scott brings the heat with an explosive performance.
TLC pay a heartwarming tribute to Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Kane Brown brings out surprise guest Khalid.
Kelly Clarkson lights up the arena with